How's it going, guys? It's Ryan here and welcome to round 7 of our F1 2014 career mode. This time we're at the Gilles Villeneuve circuit in the Red Bull and it's dry for a change. That's great to see, but we've got 76% chance of rain, which means it's going to be a wet one at the end. And you guys know what I'm like in the wet, so we're going to see if we can put out a gap until they catch up again. Welcome, guys. If you're new to the series, then this is the series where I stream this on YouTube, and anything can happen. There's no flashbacks, no assists, none of that, as we attempt to replicate Daniel Ricciardo and beat Sebastian Vettel, the multiple world championship driver on there. So the setup you're seeing on the screen is what I used in qualifying, which got me 4th on the grid. If you miss any of the setup, I'll put a time frame in the description and in the comments below as well for you guys to check out, and I'll be posting highlights as well of time frames in the description and in the comments as well, so you can check out any of the key moments of the race if you so wish so on there. Obviously they think it's a one-stop strategy, but there's no point because it's going to rain, so we're going to try and stay out as long as possible on these super soft tyres, which have done 2 laps already as we try to get pole from Lewis Hamilton, who is currently leading the standings, winning 5 of the 6 races we've had so far. The other one going to Nico Rosberg. So we leave the garage, starting in P4. It's an all Mercedes lockout again, which is obvious because it's real life and they kind of replicate. Alonso's 3rd, we're 4th, and our teammate Vettel in 5th, as we hope to try and catch up to Mercedes but put away from Alonso and his Ferrari guys. So here we go. Round 7 of career mode. Let's go racing, boys. Here we go. And Alonso gets a flying start there. We're going to take the opportunity now of the AI being slow and put off a free car overtake to take the lead of the race. Now, with the rain coming, well, it's obviously going to be coming, we need to now pull away from these cars behind, because it's going to be quite an interesting one, unless the safety car comes out, and that would really spice things up a bit. As you can see, the Mercedes being so OP, they're right in the back of us already, so it's going to be quite hard to keep them off bay. But we've done it before, as they've backed off a lot. The Hamiltons at the moment. So we now can try and build a gap. We've got a 2-second gap now to Nico Rosberg. We need to now pull away as much as possible now. Alonso is now holding up. As you can see, there's the gap you can see on the screen. Hopefully the rain just comes around lap 7 actually. But it was like 78% chance, I think it said, so it will come at some point in the race as well on there. And as I said that, 5 minutes and the rain's coming, so that's not a good sign. I don't know if it's going to get heavy or not, but you're going to see the first dry to wet transition of the season. So keeping a maintained gap of 2 seconds to Rosberg at the minute. Obviously my strategy going into this with the rain, I'm going to be in lean, obviously because it helps the traction out of the slow corners, as some of you will know. The non-assist drivers struggle with the traction, so I'm going to put it into lean when we get to that point. So we're going to burn a lot of fuel now and try and keep a gap of around about 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds from Rosberg. Obviously the Mercedes is quick in that middle sector than us. The first and last sector we seem to be quick, so we're going to see how we do in this stage of the race. My aim is a podium, but obviously would like to win a race. As we just take a bit of a corner cut there, that's going to slow us down a bit. But as you can see, we're 4 tenths up in that last sector, as Hamilton only 1/2 second quicker than us, so that's quite promising to see at the minute, as Hamilton's now back up to 3rd, as I think the Mercedes have pulled away from Alonso. So it's just me and the Mercedes now going to be squabbling, as you can see on the mini-map there. We could guarantee ourselves a podium at this point if we push now and follow the Mercedes, but we'll see. It all depends when the rain's coming. As you can see, look at the tyres, they're absolutely fine at the minute. So we'll see how we go. We only lose a tenth there to the Mercedes, so that's good. But look at them, they're pouncing, they're ready to go. So we'll just hope that Rosberg and Hamilton squabble, as Hamilton's now going to go for a move on Rosberg, which is good because the AI seemed to struggle at the last corner with cars trying to overtake, so I can try and build a gap as we set another 16.8, so that's good. Obviously there Hamilton gained time with the aid of DRS, so that's not good, as Hamilton there 15.3 with the help there, as we take a bit of a cheeky corner cut there. First one of the race, but we don't get a warning, which is a bit disappointing, because I think we should get it, as Hamilton's now a second behind. So that's going to be lovely having them there. Still +1, and I don't see any rain yet, so interestingly enough. As Hamilton's all over the back of us now. He's flying at the minute. As Rosberg is, oh maybe not. He's about 1.2 seconds behind me at the minute. As Hamilton and Rosberg's going to get DRS, so we're going to pull to the left actually, stay to the racing line for this corner, as I know Hamilton and the AI will have to check up big time, and as you can see, that's why they don't seem good around that corner. As we set constant high 16s, very good, very consistent. Still don't see any rain yet, but we're going to put into intermediates for now, just to be on the safe side. Obviously with the rain coming. I mean, look at the tyres. It's lap 5 and they're good, so we can really push. Vettel's pulled away from Alonso, so that's good. So we're going to drop it to standard for this sector. As I think I may have just spotted rain in that sector. I could be wrong. Yep, there's rain in the last sector now. As there's look at that train of cars there. So it's raining, so I'm going to guess maybe lap 10 it's going to get really bad, as here comes Hamilton once again with DRS. Is he going to make the move stick? No, he doesn't. Backs out of it again. There we go, light rain down the main straight now. So we need to take this chance now as we set another 16.9. As the rain's going to take quite a bit of time to get wet, so we're going to attempt to stay out as long as possible. Maybe the AI may pit on lap 8 and put inters on, so they're going to struggle. But it depends on how intense the rain gets. As there's a bit of mist now emerging on the back straight here. So we know when it's going to be dry. Is that Vettel behind? I can see. Vettel's catching up again, so we may have a four-way scrap here for the lead sometime soon. Just need to be very careful as it's now getting a bit heavier. As you can see, there's a bit of a wet line now, slowly emerging. As Hamilton now is pounced now. We're going to stay to the inside. Here comes Hamilton. We're going to probably lose the lead. We do. But we're going to hook it around the outside there. Brilliant move there. Oh, and look like Rosberg made a bit of contact there. So we've just done a very nice move there around, well, the inside then the outside. So Hamilton at the Oh, look at Vettel's up to third. Great move there from Vettel on Rosberg. I wonder if Rosberg's got damage, as we've gone a bit wide. So look at our tyres. Our tyres okay? They seem fine. Still not intermediates yet. It's slowly emerging to be... So we're going to drop it to the lean now. But Hamilton's just going absolutely bananas. Look at his pace, it's ridiculous. So we need to keep an eye out for Hamilton. So we're going to stay to the left-hand side. Avoid any draft from Hamilton. As you can see, it's working. If it was behind me, he would have passed me by now, like last time. So Hamilton's in the pits already. It's not wet yet for any intermediates yet. But it's getting there. It feels like it's near the inters. It's slowly getting there. Vettel's all over the back of us now. We've got to fend off. We've got to fend off our teammate now. It's slowly getting to that time now. Rosberg's now going to fight all both of us here. Yep, I think it's now wet territory now, I would say. You can see a bit of spray coming off. Here comes Vettel now, as he backs off. So we've got to pit now. We have to pit. Oh dear, Vettel's coming in as well. Oh dear. This is going to be a bit awkward. I think everyone's coming in. Yep. Can we get ahead of Alonso? I think that is. We do. And I think I've just ruined Vettel's race as Rosberg's been held up. Bottas is leading the race. Where is Hamilton is the question, I wonder. I don't see Hamilton anywhere. So we've benefited from this big time. We still have not won a race this season in our career mode. We came close in Bahrain. So we've got a nice gap now to Rosberg, who got held by Alonso. The intermediates are fine, it's just the wets I'm struggling, so I hope it does not get heavier. Plus our high wings will help us in... Oh, a bit wide there. Our high wing settings may help us during this stint of the race. As we can now use our rich strategy to use on the straights, and then in the slow corners we'll use the lean, as Bottas and Raikkonen pit now. So we'll retake the lead as I've just gone over that curve like a treat and a half, as Rosberg has pitted again. That's a bit weird. Weird. So I think Bottas and Raikkonen may be the big winners here, as Rosberg's going to drop a heap, which is good for us. And there's no one on the map. Look, there's no one on the map. Where is everyone? We've got a huge lead. So Massa's up to third. I wonder what's happened to like Hamilton and Alonso, and maybe Hamilton, maybe the AI put them on dries and then they put it back onto wets again. But Williams are the surprise package here. Second and third. And we've got 9 laps to go in this race, as it's getting heavier. At this point, it's still intermediates at this point. But that is a weird thing. It happened to me in my 2012 career mode around here. In the Force India, so I'm quite surprised. I'm not really surprised it's happened again. But their pace is going to be quite quick than us, so they may come back at us at the end, but we'll see. Depends on how intense the rain gets. So 10.8 was the gap. So we've got to keep it lean. What's the gap now? 11.1, so we gained a bit of time there on Bottas. Remember, the Williams is not that good in the wet, so that may help me, as both Bottas and Massa are in second and third, so they'll be holding up Raikkonen and Co. So we had a bit of a moment there. This could be our first win of the season if we can keep this up. So it was a nice strategy to stay out until it was deemed too wet for dries, which I think has worked out a treat for us. So we'll see how we go. We may need to pit again for wets, we don't know yet. .2, so they've gained a bit of time on us in the middle sector. So we're still saving fuel, so that's quite good. No need to just need to keep all four wheels on track. That is the main goal here. Setting constant 22s, as we can see our first back marker, so that's quite a surprise, seeing a back marker. 9.8, so they are catching now. We may need to pick up the pace a bit in terms of engine mapping. Two tenths up, so that's a promising sign. So what's the gap now? 9.8. So we're still constantly equal on pace with Bottas at the minute. But as it stands at the minute, it's going to be the first non-Mercedes team first place of the season, I believe. I could be wrong. Oh, it is. It is true. 9.1. So not losing too much time to the Williams boys at the minute. As it's getting very wet now. Take a bit of a corner cut, cheeky corner cut there, so I do apologise there, guys. So we need to get this into at least the 21s. Low 22s will be fine. We're 7 tenths quicker than we were before, so we've got 6 laps to go. And we're quicker than Bottas again by 1/10 of a second in that last sector. Now it's going to be very difficult now to, as you can see, the rain, the spray is coming onto my screen, so it's very difficult to try and pick up an apex at times. But this is what the game is all about. It's all about the realism, and this is challenging as it is already on intermediates. So we'll see how we go. Hopefully it'll be a hashtag Ryan Conquers Rain moment if we keep this up. We'll keep in second gear so we can reduce the wheel spin. 8.2 is the gap. They are catching slowly in that middle sector, so we need to push in the first and last to try and get that gap, the overall gap, slightly down a bit, just by a small gap. Advantage as well is that Bottas and Massa will be fighting as well, because Massa's only a second behind. So that will give us a bit of good faith going into the last few laps, as the rain's going to is getting a bit heavier. And Bottas is a second a lap quicker. As it stands, if it stays as a second, we'll be fine. But obviously, if the track gets wetter, we will struggle more. Back end slides out, so we're getting a 10th up on Bottas. Master's staying back a bit. Remember that now DRS I think may be disabled now. I'm not 100% sure, because normally if it's disabled the DRS thing will be closed, I think. So we're 3 tenths up on our lap, so that's very promising. But Bottas still gaining time. We're into +1, so that's a bonus as well. A nice Ryan bonus. +1 laps of fuel. I don't want to go into the World Champions. Let's have a look at our tyres quickly. The rears seem okay. Fronts, fine. Absolutely fine. They're like brand spanking new tyres on the fronts. So a low 22 again. That's pretty good for me. Oh, bit moment there, tank slapper there. The track is getting wetter ever so slightly. Maybe wets, possibly. Last lap. Or we stay out and take the gamble, and it's going to stay this intense in terms of intensity. We won't need full wets. We don't know yet. Taking some short shifts up the gears, as a lot of you did request in some of the races in the wets that I've done, that short shifting helps, and I think it is. Reduces the wheel spin. Like that, for example. So we've got 3 laps to go now in this race. Can we hold on? As we see a Marussia up ahead, I think that is Max Chilton most likely. As Bottas is still gaining time on us. But to be fair, apart from Bottas, we're keeping up with the rest of the pack, so Bottas we have to be careful of, even though I do respect him in real life. He is one of my favourite drivers. Spoiler for the Q&A video on there, so we're keeping it at 6.4. Getting lead for this one corner. Oh, just a bit wide, bit of an extension there on the exit of the chicane. So we're going to put it up to Rich for the straight. So we're up 2 tenths again on our PB. But they're getting ever closer now. Bottas is catching. As I said, the AI are quick in the wet. With the traction they've got a lot more. It's like they've got traction control on in the wet, and we haven't. So obviously there is the problem of exit of corners. So 2 to go. The gap is 5.7. So Bottas is gaining. He's still, to be fair though, it's only a second a lap, so it's we'll be happy with a second a lap here. And so obviously these intermediates are getting a bit rusty now on the rears, as we're starting to make a bit of mistakes now. So we're going to aquaplaning a bit. It's close to wet tyre territory. It's a bit close. As there's Bottas, you can see him now in the mirror or behind. So he is catching. This is going to be a very interesting last lap. Come on, we can do this. We've led since the first corner. We do not. 4.3 is the gap. We'll be fine on fuel to the end. But we're still going to do lean strategy. I ain't taking any risks of wheel spin and spinning into the wall as we take a massive corner cut there. Do apologise. As we now embark on the final lap of this race. Can we hold on for our first win in career mode in the 7th round? It's taken a bit of a while to get our first win of the season. But would I conquer the wet conditions for the first time in this game? That Marussia may come in a bit of help here for us, as 3.8 now is the gap, as we are now literally doing ice skating moves now. It's like we're doing the Winter Olympics here, F1 2014 edition, as we come out of the middle sector for the final time. Actually, you took that nicely well. So the question is, are we going to lap a Marussia in this race? We don't know yet. I just hope it's not Max Chilton, because actually, if it is Max Chilton, he could help us out a bit. Oh, we're aquaplaning a bit now. There is Bottas there. We've got one corner to go in this race. We've got to get this absolutely perfect now. Let's take it nice and smooth out of there. And we get it out nicely. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Our first win of the season in the Red Bull. Get in there. There we go. First win in Red Bull. First win for the series in the wet. We have conquered the wet conditions for the first time, as Vettel is outside the points. Bad Vettel. Bad. And we get an achievement as well. I don't know if you can see on the stream, but we got our first win of the season with our thing on there. But the results, as you can see on the screen, we did win by just 3 seconds. So we managed to hold off Bottas there. We equalled him on the last lap, so that's promising. On there, Bottas there finishing in second, and Felipe Massa bringing in a great job from Williams there. Second and third, very good for them. Raikkonen fourth, with Hamilton, who is still the leader of the championship but will lose 15 points to us, is down in fifth. Perez, a very strong 6th place. Alonso was alright at the start, was third but dropped down to 7th. Daniel Kvyat in 8th for the Toro Rosso. Rosberg, the big surprise, down in 9th place, going into the pits twice. So we're going to jump him in the standings, as you'll see in a minute. Nico Hulkenberg in 10th, completing the points paying positions, and Vettel, who sadly got held up in the pits by myself, finishes down in 11th. But all 22 runners finished, and they're all on the lead lap, so that's good to see. So what does that mean for the driver standings? We are now a point behind Nico Rosberg, 59 points off Lewis Hamilton in the championship on there, but we've now built a nice healthy gap behind to Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel. We're now 32 points clear of our main contender Vettel, and also 31 points ahead of Fernando Alonso. So our top 3 for the championship is still on, guys, but it's early days yet. We never know. We could still be fighting for the championship come end of the season as well. Constructors, it's the same as always. We haven't really gained a bit on Mercedes, so their gap is now 92 points ahead. We're still, though, 46 points ahead of Ferrari, and Williams had a very strong performance, and they have, I believe, jumped McLaren to 4th in the standings as well. Still, Sauber, Marussia and Caterham have yet to score in the season. So that, guys, is round 7 and our first win of the season. Let's try and get this to 80 likes, guys, when we get there. Round 8 of career mode, which is at Austria, our first look at the Red Bull Ring this season. It's going to be a very interesting one for this one, as it's our second 50% of the series. 80 likes and the stream will be up straight away, but I'm aiming for it to be tomorrow, so we can get that, guys, by tomorrow evening. That will be fantastic for us to get that going. But remember, guys, to like the video and subscribe to my channel for more F1 2014 gameplay, live streams, overtakes of the week, and a very special project that's coming out this week, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But until the next round, guys, in Austria, 80 likes for the next one. Until then, hope you guys have a great evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. Take care, guys. See you later.